We are such picky bastards. Seriously, if you're a gamer, chances are, at some point, you have nitpicked a game to death for no reason other than it not meeting your personal standards. Or more precisely, not meeting your specific expectations of what that game should be. Sometimes we act this way due to the way game makers have hyped us up. I'm looking at you, Peter Molyneux. Seriously, I fucking love Fable. None more so than Fable 2. That game was my jam! That game was my bae. I loved her, and I cherished her. In a non-creepy and totally consensual way. But I knew so many gamers who outright hated Fable. Not because it was a bad game on its own merits, but because of how much they were promised and how little they were delivered. I cannot fault gamers being picky in those kind of circumstances. I do think they should try and see the game for what it is, and not judge it on impossible standards, but I get the feeling of being let down. I felt a similar feeling of letdown when I played the first Red Dead Redemption. It was a great game, but it was also the first game that I got more hyped for than a kid trying Molly for the first time. I mean, I read everything about that game. I made a custom trailer for that game. I watched Western after Western getting hyped to finally live in the Old West. It was an unhealthy addiction for sure, and one that could only lead to my disappointment. The story was amazing. The gunplay was better than any of Rockstar's previous games, and the world was exquisite. But I was expecting something different. I was expecting to go camping in the wilderness, to track down endless bounties, to basically live in a simulated version of the Old West. And that was not what the game was meant to be. Now, yes, Red Dead Redemption 2 delivered on all those things and more, nearly a decade later. Was it the game's fault that I had hyped myself up to levels that can only be described as a high that would knock Keith Richards on his ass? No, that was not the game's or even Rockstar's fault. The fault was mine for expecting a game I had created in my own mind. Which sounds crazy unless you're a game designer, and I am not a game designer, so it does sound fucking crazy. Gamers are insanely passionate and also a wee bit addicted to gaming. Hey, it's a healthy addiction. There is nothing better than escaping your boring, depressing life to a world where you are in control, where you are the hero, where you feel like you truly matter. That may sound a little too deep for some gamers, and perhaps it is. For some. But then there are those who hear that and go, fucking A, man. Fucking A. And I think it's this deep connection to our games that causes us to turn on them like some kind of abusive alcoholic father. I love you, son, but you are such a fucking disappointment. I can't stand you, but I love you. I just want you to be the best you can be. But you are failing, and so now I want to stab you in the fucking neck. This all should make the release of Death Stranding a very interesting one. Because my god, does that game look original, inventive, compelling, and also more divisive than the current state of American politics. Taste, it's subjective, and for every game that is released, it's gonna be seen as the best of all time to my dude in the corner, a really fun experience to the dudette chilling beside me, a massive crippling letdown to my brosif playing a Switch down there, a poor and boring excuse of a game to my bruh behind me, an abortion to that one dude that we all try to avoid, or just an okay kind of game that's worth hitting up a red box for, to everyone else. The truth is, none of those reactions are wrong. They're your personal experience, your feelings, and they are all valid. And you're welcome to make reviews, posts, and express those feelings, but I think we should also realize that one man's trash is another man's treasure. And while your feelings are valid, so are the feelings of those who firmly disagree with you. I think it's fine to say, "You fucking hate this game, man, it is shit!" But where the line should be drawn is when you try and wreck the fun for others. When you think that only your opinion is valid, and that means to you, "That game, it should not even fucking exist! They wasted all the money on that! They wasted my money! Fuck that fucking game!" Some people are not such picky bastards. Some can pick up a game and love it for what it is, and be as grateful as if they just spent the night with Jennifer Lawrence. There is nothing wrong with hating a game. There is nothing wrong with disrespecting the hard work of countless artists. In truth, it really only makes your life more sour. And while you may offend those having a good time, they're gonna get over it, because they accept and enjoy life. While you only seek to nitpick and take a huge steaming dump on something that has no reason to exist other than to make you and others happy. I think it is honestly quite cute when gamers get so up in arms over what a game should have been. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a fucking video game that was made for you to have fun. So if you want that thing to instead make you an angry, bitter, picky bastard, then go right ahead, my good man. I'll enjoy the game for what it is, while you allow that game to melt away your insides worse than a dinner at Taco Bell.
I'm not the only one wearing masks either. There's your boss man, and that woman, and, oh, let's not forget little you.
Did I ever tell you my real name? I wanted to. It's Amerigo. After Amerigo Vespucci, the man who discovered the continent.
I thought it was Columbus.
Except Amerigo was full of it. He lied. America is a lie.